Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Cheryl. Thank you very much for joining me. If you are a new viewer, hi, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. This video is a book review. It's kind of an author review, but it's based on really one book. I'm not sure if I'm going to talk about all her books. I probably will. So it's more of an author review. I'm going to be putting this video up on both my channels. I have a booktube / authortube channel, which is author Cheryl Gilmore. If you just search for that, you'll get my channel. And the other channel is just Cheryl Gilmore, but no just, it's Cheryl Gilmore. And that is my crafty channel where I talk about crocheting, knitting, loom knitting, diamond painting, and I do want to put some book things up there, so I'm going to be putting this up on both channels. So if you're looking for book reviews, I am going to be doing more of those this year. I'm hoping to do a video book review of every book I read, as well as a Goodreads review on Goodreads. I will be posting them on both channels unless I get enough people saying they don't like it on my crafty channel, then I won't. But I tend to think a lot of crafters do read as well. So I'm going to be putting them up on both channels. So from now on, you will see them on both channels. I will link below the my Goodreads page if you want to follow me there. Like I said, I will be putting written reviews and star ratings on every book I read this year. And I am in the middle of making a list of all 300 books I have on a Google Docs list that I'm going to be alphabetizing, because there is such a thing as an alphabetizer online. It's so cool. You paste the list onto this thing and it alphabetizes it for you. I mean, what will they think of next? That is so cool. I mean, kids these days have it so easy when it comes to school because the internet does everything for you. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, I am going to make a list and then put all my owned books on Goodreads. And I am also going to go back in my last year's books and do reviews for those. So you can look forward to that. That'll take place over the next few months. So I did, my teeth. I got chocolate there. Sorry. I had a Pop-Tart. I don't know if it shows, but in my screen it looks like there's chocolate there. Oh well, sorry. What was I saying? Oh yes, so you can go onto my Goodreads page and follow me there. I will list it below. Goodreads is a wonderful site to talk books. So I am using the Cawpile method, which was created by G at Book Roast. Book Roast is her YouTube channel. I will link that announcement video below, or I may just link her I'll just link her channel below. And if you go on there, it's one of the most popular videos that are uploaded. It's the Cawpile method. Look for the 2019 one, because she does, or not 2019, we're in 2020 now. In the 2020 version of it, she does have a 2019 version too, but look for the 2020 version, and she has an updated spreadsheet that calculates everything for you. So the Cawpile method is a way to find out a star rating, and I totally recommend it. I love it. I'm using it to find my star ratings. So let's get started, shall we? After all that. First of all, again, just to let you know, I do have Tourette syndrome. I do some tics. I'm not doing a lot of vocal ones today, which are noises, but I am doing one where I basically just open my mouth really wide. I don't know when it comes. Again, it's a tic. It's from Tourette syndrome, so I don't plan on doing it. It just happens. So if you find this offensive in any way or don't enjoy it, because it's not exactly funny. It looks funny, so if you laugh, that's fine. I don't mind if you laugh, but if you do find it offensive, please go ahead and just leave the video. That's totally fine. There's lots of other videos you can find on different subjects. But if you do leave, please leave quietly and refrain from leaving a rude remark or a remark that I may take as offensive as myself as a TikToker or any other TikTokers around. Thank you very much. Okay, I've never gotten a rude comment about it, but I'm always worried that there will be one, so Just a little disclaimer. All right. I mean, I trust you guys. I mean, the book community and the writing community and the knitting community are all pretty nice. So I don't really think there would be anyone who leaves a rude remark, but you never know. Anyways, okay. So what I'm going to talk about, who I'm going to talk about, is Shari Lapena. I don't know if her last name is Lapena or Lapena. I've heard it both ways. I'm going to say Lapena. Shari Lapena has written 5 books. She wasn't well known for her first book, which I forget what the name is. I should have been more prepared. I have it on my Kobo, my e-reader. I haven't read it yet. It's not as popular. Her most popular book that got her known was called... I just lost it here. I've got another name of a book in my head, and I can't get it out. Do you ever do that? You get one in your head, it just repeats itself? It's like it's on repeat. No. Do you ever get that? I'm wondering if it's a tick or if it's like other people get that. Do you ever get that where you have something in your head and it just repeats over and over and over again, kind of like a song? It's like a phrase or word or title. I don't know. I've always had that, and I have no idea if it's just me or if it's everybody, because you never know with Tourette, because there's so many different tics that I don't know what some of them are, whether they're tics or whether it's just me or whether everybody gets it. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you ever get that. A Stranger in the House is the first book that she sorry, I don't have a cold, but I cough a lot. I've always been that way. My mom was like that too. Okay. A Stranger in the House is the first book that she was well known for. She is a thriller writer, author. I believe she goes by the she, her pronoun. I'm not positive. If she doesn't, I'm sorry. I apologize. But I think she does go by the her, she pronoun. Okay, so I have thoughts. Her first book was A Stranger in the House, and personally, that one is my favorite. I don't have a copy of it, unfortunately. I do have an Audible coffee. Apparently, I need coffee. An Audible copy of it, which I loved. The ending of that book was a shocker. And if you read Shari Lapena books, you know that on the last page, there's always a big plot reveal that's like, wow, I did not see that coming. So, the second book I read of hers was The Couple Next Door, which, there's her name, Shari Lapena. The Couple Next Door, I really enjoyed because it talks about postpartum depression. I suffer from depression. I've never had a baby apart from a miscarriage, so I've never suffered from postpartum depression. I think I probably would have postpartum depression, at least a little bit. I don't know for sure if I would or not, because you can't really, guess if you're going to have it or not. But I feel like since I already suffer from depression, it's more of a chance I would have it. I don't know if that's true. It might not be. I don't know much about it. But this book was really good. Again, I don't know if the representation of postpartum depression was well written because I've never suffered from it. I don't know anybody personally who has suffered from it, so I can't say whether the representation was really well written or not. But as much as I know about it, it was well written. This book is about a woman named Anne and her husband Marco and their baby daughter Cora. Now, Anne, again, has suffered from postpartum depression. She also had depression before she got pregnant. So, again, I don't know if that relates or not. But this book is about someone who gets murdered. I forget who. I haven't read this in over a year. Their baby gets kidnapped. Her and her husband go next door to her next door neighbor's house for a drink, and they unfortunately make a bad decision and leave their baby alone asleep in the house. Not the best decision. They have they're right next door. They're in a condo kind of thing. So they have their little, what do you call it, baby monitor where they can hear her, and they go and check her every hour or something like that. She goes to check her baby one time, and it's either her or her husband goes to check, and the baby is missing. So this whole book is about whether or not, um, who kidnapped the baby, first of all, and the police think that she did it, that she kidnapped the baby and maybe have murdered her. And it's her defending herself and saying, no, I suffer from postpartum depression, but I didn't kill my baby. But yet another part of her is saying, maybe you did. Maybe you just don't remember. Maybe you're just that crazy. And it's a really good book. The ending, again, with Shari Lapena's work, the endings are what gets me. And this book had an amazing ending. It's a short book. It's only, let's see here. That's the next book. So, it's 308 pages, which isn't too bad, but it looks short. Really good book. The ending is what got me. It was really good. So then I picked up The Unwanted Guest. Now, this book I never finished reading. Again, for 2 years ago, I started a lot of books that I never finished. I don't know why. I just didn't. I had a lot of health issues back then, and I just didn't read. So this book I'm planning on finishing next week. If you don't know, I'm doing the 52 books in 52 weeks reading challenge 2020. And one of the prompts, the third week prompt is, or no, the fourth week prompt is read a book set in winter that has snow. Something like that. Set in winter, I think is what it is. So this obviously has snow. So I want to read this. This was a good book as far as what I read. I read about half of it. It is, as Maura from Books Like Whoa, her channel's Books Like Whoa, she calls them closed circle, what does she call them? Closed circle mysteries. I forget what she calls them, but that is when everybody is stranded somewhere and people get murdered and they have to find out who done it. That is like this book. So, Agatha Christie, and Then There Were None, that is a closed circle mystery. There's another word she uses it. Isolated closed circle mystery. That's what she calls them. So, this book is about a lady who goes to a kind of like a bed and breakfast hotel type thing. It's like a hotel. I think it's a hotel. I'm not sure. It's like a cabin hotel in the middle of nowhere. I think it's in the Catskills. And it's winter. And they have no cell service, no internet, nothing like that. And there's a few guests there. And they all get stuck there with no power, no way to get out. And someone gets murdered. Yeah. So they're trying to figure out who did it. This book has multiple character viewpoints. So it is written, I believe, in third person, if I remember correctly. But it has different people telling their story. So it's written in third person, first present, not for third person present. So it says she does this. It's like talking as she goes through it. This book, I think, is the same way. I think all her books are that way. I liked it. You really get into the characters. From what I've read of this, I haven't finished it yet. I don't know what the shock reveal at the end of this is. I'm excited to learn what that is. I'm going to start it from the beginning again because I don't remember much about it. I don't remember the characters. And one good thing about Shari Lapena's books is that the character studies, the characters are very well written. They're very described. They're very intricate, interesting characters. I say a lot, if you noticed. They're the characters are well developed. It's just, oh my goodness, it's just so well developed. You get into the characters' minds, and some of their minds are pretty messed up. I should tell you that. Each of her books has the characters have a secret that nobody they don't want anybody to find out. So I'm did find out what a couple of their secrets were in this book, but not all of them. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Again, that's an Unwanted Guest by Shari Lapena. The book I did finish yesterday, last night, which is the first book I read this year, in 2020, is her newest book. This book came out in 2020. I can't talk. The words are hard today, I tell you. 2019, it's Someone We Know, again by Shari Lapena. Now, this book I did do a review for on Goodreads. Again, like I said, I'm doing reviews for all the books I read in 2020. I have thoughts about this book. Again, I will link below my review for this book. But I gave this 4 stars. By the way, I gave this 5 stars, and I gave A Stranger in the House 5 stars. This one, I gave 4 stars. Again, I used the claw pile method, and I will link her video below. But what to say? First of all, again, this is a book with multiple characters in present tense. Third person. Again, the characters were really well developed. Really well developed. I started not liking some characters and liking others. I felt bad for some of the characters. The thing I liked the most about this book is every chapter I felt like I knew who did the murder, and by the end of the chapter I changed my mind. So I did not know exactly who did it. I did figure it out about halfway through. I was pretty sure who did it. I didn't know the reason, but I was pretty sure I knew who did it, and it turned out I was right. But I did have doubts, so that was really good. The last probably 5 chapters was a bit predictable. By the time I got to that, I kind of knew what was going to happen after one specific point in it. Again, this is a non-spoiler review. I don't know how to feel about this book. The characters, like I said, I really thought were well developed. Really liked how she did that. The only thing is, in the beginning, you're kind of confused because you're kind of in the middle of it all, and it kind of develops from there and tells what happened. So in the beginning, the first 2 or 3 chapters, it introduces all the characters, and there are many characters in this book, many characters. So I kind of forgot who the characters were after a couple chapters, but then I kind of got the connection. I was like, okay, this is her best friend, or this is her best friend's husband, this is her best friend's son, this is the guy next door, all that. So you do start to remember the characters, but at the beginning it got kind of confusing because I kept forgetting who was who. This is about the main idea, the main plot for this book is there is a woman who, her name is forget her name. She finds out her teenage son has been sneaking into people's houses, and he doesn't steal anything. He just goes in and hacks into their computers and looks at all their information. He doesn't steal Visa card numbers. He doesn't do anything. The only thing he does is he sends a couple prank emails from them. So he'll go into someone's computer and send an email to somebody on their list of a prank kind of thing. He doesn't steal anything or anything, but he gets caught by his mom. The police find him, and his mom starts wondering, well, how long have you been doing this? You're a good guy, you're a good kid, so why are you doing this? He says it's just for fun, and he swears he'll stop. Meanwhile, down the street, a lady is found murdered. The teenage boy that is sneaking in the houses has snuck into that house before, so his fingerprints are all over. He didn't wear gloves or anything, which is kind of stupid, but he's a 16-year-old, so no offense to 16-year-olds, but they don't really think of that sometimes. Um, Not that I'm telling you to sneak into people's houses, but I mean, if you're gonna do it, wear gloves. I mean, anyway, anyways, so his fingerprints are there. The mother of the teenage son confides in her best friend, and her best friend has a teenage son, and then the guy that's wife was killed is suspected of murdering her. And we find out that the lady that was murdered has had is kind of her what's the word? I want to say select, but not really. I mean, I don't like that word. But she sleeps around. She has affairs. And she's very flirty, and so different affairs come up, and people start suspecting their husbands of murdering her. And it's just an amazing book. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Now, the ending, like I said in Shari Lapena's books, the ending's always at the last page, like practically the last paragraph. There's always a big reveal that shocks me to the core. This book did not shock me to the core at the end, and that's why I didn't get 5 stars. Um, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was predictable, but it kind of was, because you kind of knew, by the end of the story, you knew something about one of the characters. So the ending was just him admitting it, basically, is what happened. And it's like, I already knew that. So I wanted something that just shook me to the core, like maybe, I mean, there is, at the end, it's kind of like, well, maybe the person who was arrested really didn't do it, and maybe this other guy has something to do with it. But at the same time, the other person confessed to it. So you're thinking, well, they did it. Maybe this other person didn't do it, but maybe this person is a bad person. It gets you thinking, but it wasn't a big shock, because it was practically suggested right from the beginning that this person was not a good person. So, it does, the ending does read like there might be a sequel to this. I don't know. I think it would be interesting if there was a sequel to this. I haven't heard anything about there being one, but it would be kind of cool if there was a sequel to this. If you've read the book, you know what I mean. Yeah, I did enjoy it very much. The last, like, 5 or 6 chapters, I was at the edge of my seat, which was really cool. So, again, that's Someone We Know by Shari Lapena. Lapena, I don't know. I should find that out. Anyway, so that is my author review of Shari Lapena. All in all, I would recommend her for a thriller. She's a good writer, a very good writer. Again, she writes in present tense, which you don't see a lot of in thrillers, so I really enjoy that. I tried writing in present tense. It's not the easiest thing to do, so yeah. Recommend her. I gave her other 2 books 5 stars, so this one is the only one I gave 4 stars, and this one I'm going to be reading this month, and this one I gave 5 stars. So totally recommend her work. So you can look them up. Her audiobooks are really good too. I forget who narrates it. I'm not sure, but really enjoy them. So I recommend them. So if you are into thrillers, I would totally check them out. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something about Shari Lapena's work, and I hope you picked them up. So have a great day. I have finished my first book of 2020. It is January 10th, so I should have had 2 books done by now. I will have another book hopefully done by today, so you may see another video go up tomorrow. Anyways, happy crafting, happy reading, happy writing, and have a great day. God bless you in all you do. Bye, guys.